We are recording. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Seattle for Shadowrun 5th edition. Today we have Mike and Ryan playing Minos and Magpie. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Minos, the last time we were together, you and Statrix, along with Voltaic and Medic, who's not here today, were attacking the meta meat market. Now, just as we had kind of unloaded our attack there, Voltaic had summoned a very powerful spirit, you might recall. It was something like a Force 12 spirit. So, extremely huge lightning elemental. Something with the strength of that spirit actually allowed it to get out of Voltaic's control. So, after destroying the first warehouse, it actually turned back on Voltaic and joined us in the warehouse we were with the van and the other 7 people, the couple upper management people, stuff like that. So it kind of went, the meat market fiasco turned into exactly that, a fiasco. We ended up just barely getting out with most of our lives. Following that, there was, remember your therapist was staying at your place? So your therapist thought it would be a good idea for us, as well as Statrix, to get back out of Kansas City because Statrix was being hunted down by the Orkney boys, along with their German contacts, and the heat from the news and everything like that, having Minos in the news over and over again, was causing us some complications, along with the other things we had done to gain attention. So with that, we traveled back to Seattle, where we had the most contacts. Now, I know Minos wasn't heading that direction. He was heading east prior to that. But yeah, with the way things were happening, Minos didn't feel like he could travel further east at that time. Now, Minos does have 45,000 yen from the purchase of his farm by the therapist, with an additional 5,000 yen until he's paid up to 60,000 yen. So another 5,000 yen a month until he's paid another 20,000 to you.
Okay.
So and that's just for your farm that was in Kansas City. That's not your Cheyenne Indian territory, whatnot.
Okay.
So we start today, Minos. In your vision, little green dots start to form. First a few at a time, and then hundreds, and then thousands, until an image starts to come together. All these little pinpricks of light green and darker green lights form the image of a 3-car garage on a slant. So, Minos, you understand that this is your radar vision that's coming into focus. Basically, this is how it translates to your mind. It starts out as little green pinpoints of light that slowly coalesce until they form a 3-dimensional picture of your surroundings, and then it tries to add color and things like that as it suspects would be there in that area. Obviously, radar can't see color, so it just kind of guesstimates. You are in an underground parking garage structure. The home that you habitate currently is shared. Statrix is there in his wheelchair, in his new and improved wheelchair that he earned from the Meta Meat Market escapades. The Voltaic is no longer with us. So this is a 3-car or 3 parking spaces side by side with like a makeshift drywall wall at both sides, at the left and right hand side of the parking spaces, and then at the front is basically just aluminum siding and a garage door that's kind of makeshift put together there. So the home is these 3 parking spots put kind of stacked together. There is a car and a motorcycle in the small spot where the garage door can open up. Just off as you enter in through that section, in the center parking spot, there's a small coffee table with a chair. Underneath is your bathroom, number 1 and number 2, 2 different large pots. Across from that, Statrix has 3 wall locker sized boxes against the wall there. And then there are 2 sets of bunk beds that are basically just cots. Think about it like Gilligan's Island. So 2 over under cots side by side. It's extremely tight, and this is just kind of what you have to work with while you're here in Seattle at the moment.
Okay.
All right. So Minos, as your vision comes in, as your radar vision comes into play, you hear Statrix over your audio. All right. No, all of your systems are checking out, Minos. I don't think there's any permanent damage here. Yeah, everything looks good. So, and then your vision clears up from the green dots and comes back to your normal thermographic and daytime vision.
All right.
In the room with you, obviously Statrix in his wheelchair, it makes for an extremely tight fit. He can barely get past, the little makeshift table that you have in the middle of the parking of your parking spaces. But also in the room, sitting at the uncomfortably small table, is a gentleman he introduced to you as Magpie. Magpie, why don't you go ahead and describe to Minos what your character looks like?
As of right now, he's an average size blonde elf wearing a fine suit, a Berwick suit with a coat over it. Just kind of looking at you.
Minos, this is an old friend, Magpie. We had not met physically before, but he actually helped me out a little bit back in the day here when I was first coming through Seattle. So, Magpie, of course, I still owe you for that time. Here's the title to the car. So, like I said, there was a car and a motorcycle there in the parking space. The car is yours. I hope this makes up for everything that happened last time I was here.
It's fine, organs heal. So what are we talking about here? Something nice or just something that runs?
It's mostly something that runs, but a couple mods on it that I've added myself. So it has an extra plating of armor, and it has the ID spoofer. It has the chameleon paint.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just a small. Where is it? It's the Honda Spirit.
Okay.
What happened to the bulldog?
The Bulldog van that was kind of lost at the meat market. Oh yeah,
Right.
the second van, right? Yeah. So that was technically lost. A Force 12 Lightning Spirit was extremely angry that we had disturbed his day, and so
Sure.
we lost a lot of our equipment there.
They're just downright unreasonable.
Right, they can be. So, Magpie here is more familiar with Seattle lately, so I thought he could help us out, maybe get us into a few jobs in the Seattle area where we could make some additional scratch here while we're trying to get by. Obviously, I don't like living in such a small abode.
I'll do what I can.
Any leads?
I can make some calls. It's kind of there's a lot of teams out there right now, but we'll see what we can find.
Seattle's always a busy enough area. I'm sure we can find something.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I know a couple of people in the area we can contact as well.
All right. Why don't you both give me your best contact? Which would you like to use?
So I actually have a fixer. His name's Albatross. And I think I'm going to give him a call and see what he's got lined up right now.
And would you refresh me? What
I've
are
got
Albatross's
I've got an info
loyalty?
broker in Salish.
Sorry, what was that, Minos?
I've got an info broker in Salish. Spirit Alvarez. Not much of a connection or loyalty, but
Is it 1-1 for you, right, Minos?
Yeah.
How about for you, Magpie?
My fixer is connection 4, loyalty 3.
Oh, nice. Wow. Is this your brother?
It's like
All right.
that's like a relative.
Yeah. First cousins. All right.
Magpie inspires friendship and loyalty. It's fine.
Okay. So you both sit there. You're making some phone calls through the comm links. Statrix is mostly just monitoring comms, trying to make sure that you're both protected and that this little hideout that you have is not being actively searched for or discovered by anybody. That's a majority of what he'll be able to do for you guys from here. Is he can help gather information and he can also at times help protect your comms.
Sure.
Let's start out with the information broker. You said their name was Salish?
No. It's that's the where they're located.
Oh, in the
Same.
studies.
Yeah.
What was their name again?
It's Alice Alvarez, but goes by Spirit.
Alice? Did
Yeah.
you say? Alice, okay.
Alvarez.
Perfect. All right. Alice's comm lights up. Minos, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I thought
I've
you
been out of
were
town.
traveling east.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I'm back here. I don't know how long. Maybe a while, maybe not. Um, but just kind of getting a feel for the place. I need some work.
Yeah, a lot's changed in the last 2 years since you've been here. I mean, there's always steady work. It's Seattle, but what'd you have your mind set on? The types of things we used to do, I don't know anymore. I tried to get out of that stuff.
At this point, I'll take anything.
All right, let me see what I can do. Give me 48 hours
I mean,
on this.
you know my limits. I'm not going to do anything. I don't want any wet work. Nothing like that.
No, that's
course,
the stuff I had to
but,
get out of. So
um,
I'm glad to hear you say that.
But I'll take anything.
What about extermination?
Excuse me?
Well, there's this weird thing, but let me get some more information on it. I don't want to get your hopes up on something that's just silly.
Okay?
You said you're in Seattle area? You're back?
Yeah.
Yeah, 48 hours. I'll contact you again. You
Sounds
remember
good,
the
thank
old Puget, right?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, I'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Magpie. You contact Albatross. How do you know, or Albatross is a fixer, but how do you know them? Like, you know them physically as well?
Yes. We actually grew up together and reconnected, once we've actually became, Shadowrunners, and met up again and started doing work together. And he retired from Shadowrunning to be a fixer, and that's where he is now.
Okay, cool. Albatross is an older guy?
No, we're about the same age, but he's kind of more, I don't know, skilled or advanced than I ever was. Kind of ran with a heavier crowd for a longer time.
Okay.
Um,
Is he a meta-human type?
He is an elf, yes.
Elf. So is Statrix. Oh yeah, Minos just seen. So Magpie described his character. I guess we kind of skipped that. Minos, perhaps you should describe your character for Magpie, so that way Magpie knows what he's kind of trying to sit across from.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. What is that again?
And I'd also like you to describe your horns in particular, since I'm not sure exactly how they're shaped.
So I'm a little short of 8.5 feet tall, um, pretty big, but not the biggest sort of troll slash kind of minotaur you've ever seen. It's uh, much leaner sort of appearance, and with actual, two um, symmetrical sort of horns that are going actually straight instead of like a normal troll, which will curl around and do whatever. Kind of come out from wherever. Um, yeah, fairly usually just very casually dressed. Um, Never armed. You can't see any weapons. Um, but yeah, pretty soft spoken.
Very large.
Scars,
Very
things
large.
like that.
Not a lot, here and there, but usually stays sort of covered, long sleeve pants, the like. Hooves,
You do look
Cool.
like a fist fight brawler, though, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So maybe like some gnarled or broken up knuckles, things like obvious boxer fractures, things like that
yeah.
he's gained through his years.
Cool.
And then, yeah, Statrix is a frail elf. He's about 5'11". He's the green eyes with brunette hair. He sits in a wheelchair now. He's obviously very angry about it, but he should only have a 6-7 month recovery time in the wheelchair. So he talks about that probably endlessly since he likes to get out and run around. Are we having a hard time hearing me again?
You're cutting out.
It's good. Yeah,
All right, I don't know what's causing this time. Just make sure. Okay. Ryan, also there's the roll20.net if you want to log in. I've got the Seattle territory set up for us.
perfect. Yeah, I've forgotten completely about that.
So I would like to do something real quick
Yes.
with regards to Minos. So one of the maneuvers in cutting aces is called Zanshin. It's essentially a way of gauging how good someone is in close combat.
Okay.
So essentially, you make a judge intentions test with a -2 die pool modifier, and for different amounts of net hits, you can learn different things about them. I guess from like watching them move, or how good they are, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, posturing,
Okay.
whatnot.
So that's what I would like to do that. Um,
You could also just ask.
Well,
I could ask, but I think this is kind of what he's going for right now.
All right, that works.
and while you're doing this now, which is perfect, we'll say that you're actually gaining this information over the first, not just sitting down at a table with Minos, but actually as you guys are walking from one place to another and things like that, as you're watching him actually move and his interactions with the world.
Sure. So just kind of getting a sense of how he carries himself and how, like, looking at his knuckles, like you're saying, and how he opens
Exactly.
doors.
Yep.
So the way it works is with one net hit, you determine if they have ranks in a close combat skill, which I'm guessing he does.
In
Oh yeah.
like unarmed combat or
Close combat, so melee, unarmed.
okay.
Two net hits, you learn which close combat skill they have the highest rank in, and then with three net hits, you can determine whether they're an amateur, which is 1 to 2 ranks, well trained, which is 3 to 5, or highly trained, which is 6+.
Okay.
Minos,
Two.
you're most as a boxer or type of karate?
Yeah, karate actually.
Karate, and that's more than like your knives or anything like that. Baseball bats.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the highest skill, because I've got it in that, and then I also took a second martial art of Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
So
Yeah. So I imagine Minos is already a huge dude, and he's almost even scarier because he carries himself like an MMA fighter, for the most part. A good mix of karate and Krav Maga. He probably when you see him starting to get edgy with somebody, he's not about to give them space. He moves right into their personal bubble so that he can control the situation immediately.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that means that are you well trained or are you an expert?
Well trained.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. He can carry him. He can take care of himself other than just being big.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
If you do the same for Statrix, he has virtually no skills. So
Yeah, my wasn't even planning on it. Just kind of like looking at the guy in the wheelchair, just like, yeah, okay.
probably not the
Really?
best kicker. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Albatross picks up the phone. Magpie, how you doing, you old dog?
Doing well, doing well. Just making friends, but also need to make money.
Oh, well, that won't make you friends normally.
Well, I've got enough friends.
Enough friends to get you by, huh? What
Well-
kind of money are you talking about? What's the level of scratch here?
Well,
How hurt are you?
Well, man's got to live. I'm not in I'm not in debt or anything, but I do need to, put food on the table, gas in the car, bullets in the guns, that kind of thing.
Ah. Would you have something in mind?
That's why I'm calling you.
Okay. Well, I've got a few contacts around the area. Why don't I have you meet up with one of them? There's a
Sure.
guy I trust.
One thing, and this is kind of a weirdo thing, but no wet work.
Yeah. I hear you.
Not for me, but my friends. They don't like that kind of thing.
Understandable. Well, when you run in new circles, you have to play by their rules, huh?
Yeah. Till you figure everything out.
Well, all right. Yeah. I know a guy. We'll call him Kenneth. You can meet Kenneth over by, let's say, how are you known in the Tacoma area? He can meet you out by the old Queen Anne.
Sounds good. It's the kind of guy are we talking about here?
Kenneth? Oh, he's a straight shooter. Real good guy. We go way back 4 or 5 years. I've done at least a dozen things for him back in the day.
Well, okay. Just
He's always got odd end jobs, looking for people, trying to, secure people, files, information, that sort of thing. He's more of a procurer.
great. Just give me the details and we'll give him a holler.
Yeah. I'll upload the information to the usual spot. You can pick it up at the node.
Great.
Hey, man, it's good talking to you again.
Yeah, always a pleasure. I'll holler at you again.
All right, don't forget my 10% fee.
Of course.
All right, peace out. He hangs up.
We might have something. Guy to talk to in Tacoma might get us a job.
Good. I'm not going to be able to hear back for another 48 hours or so. So maybe we could take both.
Yeah, let's just see what it is and check it out. And then I think we're gonna head to Tacoma.
Yeah, so you peruse the matrix for a little bit. You find a secure node that you and your friend Albatross encrypt and keep safe between the two of you. You pull the information down from it. It gives you 17th Street in Tacoma, just off the freeway. It's actually only about 45, 50 minutes away from where you're at now, even with the traffic.
Cool. I think we will head there.
All right, Minos, you going too?
Sure. Are you doing this alone?
I figured we'd be going to go check it out.
That works. Sure.
Wait, are you even gonna fit in this car?
I was about to say, yeah, are
I'll
you
take
going to
mine.
take the...
Is that mine? Was I able to get my bike?
Yeah, you were able to bring your bike.
Okay. So yeah, we're good.
Yeah, because I was about to say there's no way you're gonna fit on the Hayabusa either. So
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just like looking at the Honda Spirit and then at him, and like,
Yeah.
no.
No.
yeah, he's about the size of the Honda Spirit. So
So just like looking at, between his bike and the car, like, so are we like going in separate vehicles or what's going
Yeah,
on?
we're gonna have to. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just take two.
So as you open the doors to the makeshift house that you have there, the garage door pulls up. Minos, you have to crouch basically the entire time you're in here because the from floor to ceiling, even as slanted as it is, it's at like a what is that, like a 60-degree angle in most parking garages or so. You still have to crouch the entire time. So, but as you do come out of the garage, it's really dark. Most of the lights are broken throughout the garage here. I mean, homeless people are like other people have set up other parking spots with this makeshift like cardboard or drywall or aluminum, whatever they can find in this shanty, one house after another setup. Right as soon as you come out of the door, though, you do notice three homeless people using each other for body warmth, huddled up against the wall, with another person standing above them, peeing onto them, basically calling them derogatory names like bums and filth, useless lowlifes. I bet you like that, don't you? As he continues to urinate on them.
Oh.
I think it's gonna be you see Magpie and Minos scowl at the same time at this behavior. If I'm
What the
reading
frack
you right,
looking at?
I look over at Minos. Did he? Is he talking to us?
He zips up his leather pants. You notice he does have two guns, one on each side of his hips. They're very flashy. They don't look very professional, but they do look very bright and clean.
So he's up on the second story?
No,
The second floor of this?
he's actually standing just a little bit below you, maybe 4 or 5 feet away from you. These people that he was peeing on are actually laying for body warmth against each other, against our house, against our little lean-to shelter.
Where are we right now, by the way?
So we're in an underground parking garage in downtown Seattle, or around the south side of downtown Seattle. So do you see where the letter D is on the map there?
Yeah.
We are just a little bit south of that.
Okay. I don't understand what he's trying to do. Like he sees you, right?
Okay, now with Minos' height and everything like that, Minos is standing not even upright. So for Minos to be able to physically fight in this area, while this guy's carrying two guns, he seems very confident.
Just I don't understand. Why would you urinate
Yeah,
on a homeless person, sir?
I'll, I'll go up to him and I'll just push him down. Get in his
Okay.
face.
I do what the hell, as you know, he's saying this back to you. I do what the hell oh, hey there. And Minos starts making a move towards him. He quickly pulls out one of the pistols. It's not at boosted reflexes speed, though. If somebody wants to try to take a reaction there.
I will disarm him.
Using your Krav Maga.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Make your disarm attempt. That's
Okay,
an opposed check, correct?
And that is, I roll unarmed with. Do I add anything to that?
think you
Basically against his physical limit.
And it's less of a penalty for than a normal called shot, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the maneuver.
Yeah. Yeah. So here we go. Let's see here. So called shot, unarmed attack successful. Character strength plus net hits exceeds the opponent's physical limit. Character snatches the targeted weapon out of his hand. So it's basically if I can succeed, then that's that would be that. So unarmed is
And you just need to beat his physical limit, correct?
yes. I mean, it's if the attack's successful, which let's go ahead and see if I can do this. 12d6.
Oh, hey, kitty.
Ugh. I will never get this. There we go. So 4 successes.
Perfect. Exactly how many you needed. 4 successes. He quickly, although not boosted a reaction quickly, pulls out his pistol just to find his empty hand, you already holding his pistol. His eyes widen in sheer horror as he kind of stumbles back a little bit. And I mean, this is because you're not even at your full height or anything like that. You just kind of snatch your hand out real fast and pluck this pistol right out of his hand. It's a flimsy, what is it, the Home Defender.
Okay.
So it even has like the flechette rounds and whatnot in it. Yeah, as he stumbles, as he steps back, he stumbles over one of the homeless people. He's definitely putting his left hand on the other gun, but he's not exactly pulling it out. As he, and you see, he doesn't have any urine left in him, but he's still creating a wet spot around his genitalia.
What the fuck are you doing?
Just going about my way now, man. And he tries to scramble up and get
Stop.
out of the area as quickly as possible.
Stop.
He freezes, looking back at you like,
Give me your cred stick.
my creds?
Yeah.
And he fishes into his leather jacket pocket, pulls out a couple cred sticks. They're the plain, can't be worth more than 20, 30 yen a piece.
I'll just take them and throw them to the homeless guys.
Okay.
Now, if I see you again, if I see someone that even looks like you in the next week, I will find you. And I'll shove that other gun up your ass.
I'm so sorry.
Don't do this anymore. Get out of here.
Just don't pee on people.
He's doing that backwards crab walk thing away until he's far enough away from you. Then he gets
And
up and just starts running.
I'll drop the magazine out and throw the gun at him.
Okay. Are you trying to hurt him with it, or just trying to annoy him?
No.
Okay.
Throw it to the wall, and hopefully he sees it and it breaks.
It does
But,
break.
yeah.
You
Good.
actually hear parts of it kind of scatter across the ground as it moves off into different pieces.
All right.
Thank you for the handout. You didn't have to do that.
It's all right.
We kind of did.
We appreciate it. We didn't expect kindness down here.
Well, there you go. Just, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
You guys
God,
exit the
I say
subway.
over the comms, Statrix needs to find a new place to live.
This obviously wasn't my first choice.
Probably wouldn't be third either.
yeah, my place is way better than this.
Is your place in Seattle?
It is.
Oh, well, perfect. We'll come stay with you.
Sure.
Sweet. Am I staying here?
Say what?
I'm not staying here. What's this weed?
All right. You guys start making your way through downtown Seattle. You're already in one of the harsher parts of downtown Seattle. So as you make your way further south into Tacoma, Tacoma is known as a more middle end to even high end at places. It sits right next to Renton and Auburn, which are both higher end parts of Seattle. So Tacoma isn't that bad. You could expect to meet some Johnsons or Kenneths here. It all makes sense. You pull up to a local cafe, Soy Cafe, where it's outdoor dining and indoor dining. As you approach the street, you do notice that there are security bots at the different street corners, along with aerial surveillance drones. So there is some amount of policing presence in this area, which is done by Lone Star, I believe, in Tacoma.
Okay.
So we're not to the point where Knight Errant has gotten the contract.
Oh, you might be right. It might be Knight Errant has the contract over most of Seattle, and Lone Star just has a couple small holdings.
Okay.
So I think you are right. It should be Knight Errant that is protecting this part of the area.
Okay. Just wondering. Cool. All right. Well, I think we'll. Is it like a sit-down restaurant where there's a hostess and we wait for a table, or is there like a bar? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, there's no hostess. It's kind of a come in, seat yourself type deal. Like there's maybe half a dozen seats outside and another dozen inside. It's like a Starbucks meets a Sherry's Cafe type deal or pancake house.
Okay, so real casual.
Yeah.
I kind of stick out like a sore thumb then.
Well, actually, you're in your haberdasher, so you do stick out as being like a foreigner, but you don't stick out as in being overdressed or underdressed or anything.
And also don't stick out as much as the Minotaur.
Yeah, who just can't help it by nature of himself.
Yeah, well.
So we're gonna go and have a seat, and I tell the waiter we need a sturdy chair.
Certainly.
I'm sure they have metahuman chairs.
Yeah.
Have a seat and
There are
get
two
some.
tables actually for larger guests like that.
And order like a coffee, a tea.
A Tai Chi.
No, some tea. Like I'm an Englishman. I need tea.
Earl Grey. Okay. Yeah. So your tea arrives within a few minutes, Minos, anything?
Have anything real? Real coffee, juice?
Man, and we're in Seattle, sadly, where you're going to get the least amount of real food.
Okay,
We'll say you get real lucky
I'll
and
have
there
some
is
water.
some real coffee.
real coffee? Perfect. I'll have some of that.
Okay.
Get him some soy steaks and some soy hash browns.
Oh, you don't want that.
No?
You can't clean that
Nope.
vomit out of your car.
Oh, is he allergic to soy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're having a bad time then.
That's why selling his farm was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Um,
it's
but I think we're not
normally
too far
double,
away
but
from
it's
your
not.
other farm, are we?
40 minutes.
Oh, nice.
50. Yeah. It's from the border.
Cool.
So, as you guys are sitting there partaking in your tea and coffee, another almost English-looking gentleman. He does have like a haberdasher type suit, but it's more Americanized with pinstripes and things like that, and no hat to go along with it. He kind of saunters up to your table and motions at the empty seat. Would you gentlemen mind if I had a seat with you?
No, please. Are you Kenneth?
I am Kenneth. I was
Oh,
hoping you would
please.
be the gentleman I was looking for.
Of course.
You're a little hard to miss.
We two tend to stick out.
Oh, but this is excellent, and most fortuitous. I didn't see Albatross bringing me such prime examples of. Well, I don't even know what to call you people. Elites. Perhaps?
Contractors?
Contractors. That works.
Please have a seat and we can talk.
He sits down. So, without giving away too many details, I understand the two of you are looking for work,
Yes.
and you understand that I'm in the procurement business. I find things for important people.
Yes, I was led to understand that.
Excellent. Are you familiar with a local Elvish street bike gang? They go by Crack Rocks.
I'm not sure. That's the name of their gang?
Yeah,
Crack Rocks.
Crack Rocks.
I'm not familiar with them.
They're a smaller group, mostly Elvish, high-end motorcycles, but recently they won sort of a pink slip against the son of somebody who's very important. Only instead of taking the motorcycle, they took his ring. His father would very much like to have that ring back. Now, I'm assuming the bikers will part with the ring for enough money. However, that
Something
could
like a
cut
ring, like a piece of jewelry.
it. It is a very unique piece of jewelry. Yes,
Must be very important to him.
it has a family crest and a single gemstone in it. It's more sentimental value than physical value. However, the gang has taken it as sort of a symbol that they can mess with higher ups than what their station allows for. This
Well,
cannot
it's
be
about-
allowed to continue.
Hmm. It's about respect. I understand.
Hence why we need the ring back.
Yes.
They
Very
might
well.
be willing to part with it under for many different reasons. But seeing the two of you and how large you are, I think you wouldn't have any problems talking them out of it.
Yes, yes. It's just a ring after all. They don't need it.
They do understand the value of having it, though, to instill fear in others.
Oh.
So
I
they
think-
won't just willingly get rid of it for nothing.
My friend and I also understand the value of fear.
I was hoping so.
And for this piece of work, you'd be willing to pay us how much?
My employer's willing to part with 7,500 yen.
7,500. That is a sum of money. Though we will be putting ourselves in potential danger. You understand?
The Crack Rocks are not known as a particularly violent group. Mostly mischievous.
Then why don't you just go get it if they're not violent?
If I went and paid for the ring, that would be seen as further weakness. Or if anyone affiliated with the group went and paid for the ring. I mean, we could take it by force, but then that might start something we also don't wish for.
I mean, it is a gang after all. While they may not be known for their violence, I'm sure they're willing to do so.
I could talk to my employer about some reimbursement should physical harm come to you. But again, I'd like to stress that we'd like to do this without conflict, if at all possible. I mean,
Well, yeah.
scare them, hurt them, yeah, but if we go to anything more extreme than that, it could it could spin out of control, so to speak.
Of course, but this will be an interesting mission. Perhaps you'd be willing to pay us a bit more than 7,500 million. Guess you want me to roll negotiation now?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your negotiation.
Okay. So this is the first time I've met this guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and he can smell me.
He'll refer to you as MP. Yes, he can.
Okay.
Can I help him by intimidation?
Well, let's. I would say yes if Magpie's trying to use some sort, but I think he's trying to use like pheromones, and
All right.
you're trying to appeal to him more charismatically than threateningly, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so let's see how this turns out first, and then if you still want to threaten him after that, we can see what type of bonuses that might add.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Wow, look at that roll. Okay.
Terrible.
That's 16.
You see him drift off in thought for a few moments, maybe communicating with somebody else. We can offer a 2,500 yen stipend if the ring can be retrieved within 48 hours.
Ah.
If no harm at all comes, or if no harm, no foul comes at all, you can receive an additional 2,500 yen.
Now, when you say harm, what exactly do you mean? Let's be specific.
If you can take the ring from the bike group by infiltration, not getting caught, not being seen, anything like that, or just by purchasing it off of them, negotiating it out of them, you know, doing something else to try to get the ring from them where nobody gets shot or hurt, anything like that.
I see.
So lots of different options there.
I look at Minos and kind of cock an eyebrow at him, like, what do you think?
Ever. Got to go get Daddy's ring from biker gang. That sure. Why not?
Hey, 10,000
Money.
new yen is not bad.
Money.
Yeah, I think we can take this. We'll get it back for you soon.
I hope so. Your bonus is right on it. It's been
Yes.
an honor speaking to the two of you gentlemen. If there's nothing else for me,
No, I believe that's it. Thank you very much.
your time is most enjoyable here. He stands up, tips his hat, and saunters off.
And how will we contact you? Through the usual channels?
He's already walking away.
Okay. I'm guessing I'll get to him through Albatross.
You know a guy, yeah.
All right. I guess I'll like send a comm message to Statrix to see if he can start looking up these guys, and we need to find out where they are so we can go check the place out.
Actually, they're right back in downtown Seattle. Statrix knows quite a bit about him. He likes to, or he used to, like to race motorcycles, and this was a group that he did with.
Cool.
So they do nighttime motorcycle races and things like that, and go out, create mischief, give people a hard time, pee on bums.
Oh, well then. I guess I could roll my area knowledge Seattle. Maybe that would tell me anything about them.
Go for it.
Okay.
I'll give it a shot as well. Can't hurt.
Ugh. Not that great.
All right, 3
Yep,
successes.
I got
total.
2.
Yeah. So you do know a little bit about them. They're a very small biker group. Minos, last time you were here, I mean, they were basically just a joke. The fact that they've gained any popularity at all is mostly because of the fact that they're almost all Elvish, and having the local city encircling Seattle has just drawn a lot more elves into that particular biker group because they're more readily available in this area. So that's where most of the size of this biker group has come from in the last couple of years. Just good PR.
Okay. What's the size? I mean, roughly.
You think it could
You
be
know,
as
they-
many as 45 members, but normally they only ride maybe 3 to 7 at a time.
Okay.
Huh.
And
I know
mostly all
where
high-end
they-
motorcycles, things like that.
Okay.
Maybe we go and check out their races.
Couldn't hurt. You know, we're running on a really limited window. But we need to find out, you know, the ring's probably with the leader. So
That's my guess.
scope out or find out who he is, where he lives, or at least where the clubhouse is. Go from there.
Look down at my suit and I say, you know, I probably need something different to wear. I'm not blending in very well with that crowd in this.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
I'll go and see about buying some different clothes then.
All right. Well, Tacoma area is a really good place to do it in.
All right.
Unless you want something higher end, then you can go over to Renton.
No, I'm just thinking like an armor jacket.
Oh, Tacoma. Easy. You want something in like a leather biker look, or?
Yeah, not like spiky and crazy, just kind of more like that.
Yeah. So not
Uh,
like punk or goth, not like Harley Davidson, but more like a oh, what is that? Fox?
More Triumph, less Black Flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, armor jacket is availability 12. Can we just say I can find that? Or, I mean, availability 2, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
In Tacoma, I
fully-
was about to say availability 12. That seems incredible.
Armor 12.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so, yeah, my plan is just get an armor jacket and some clothes, and so I can fit in better.
Yep.
And
Not a
base-
problem at all.
Okay, cool.
You have a bike?
Me? No, I don't have a bike. Also can't
we
afford
do
a bike.
have the Hayabusa back at the base,
Ah!
which
Then
I
I
will just
could-
call the base for right now.
Can you ride?
I barely.
Okay.
I mean, I know which buttons to push.
All right. Well,
Minos.
hopefully it's an automatic.
I was about to say, because good luck getting Minos on that Hayabusa. The fastest bike in the game, just kind of at 20 miles an hour, topped out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, go back there and then get the bike, and yeah. Where did we find out where they usually are?
Yeah, so they are in downtown. They do different sites where they do the like drag race type deals, but there's only maybe 5 or 6 different well-known areas where they can successfully do these bike runs and have like a good race, right? So they've set up these 5 or 6 well-known or better-known race tracks, and
Okay.
lots of different rival groups will show up to these to one-up each other, obviously. So several different biker groups will probably show up to this one here tonight, it being a Saturday night in Seattle, or Friday night, excuse me. So it'll be really, really busy time for this. It's also, what time of year was it, Minos? It was summer, wasn't it?
Yes.
So, I mean, Seattle is actually still really warm in the summer.
Yeah, I
It's
think we
nice
started
nighttime weather.
June, first part of June,
That
and I don't
sounds
know
right.
how long it's. Yeah, but
It probably took a month or so to get across through all the different territories and whatnot, unless you guys just flew straight to Seattle.
probably not.
Yeah, who can afford a plane?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's time to maybe go like an area downtown. Maybe like go to some biker bars, see if we can get some information,
Yeah.
see what's going on, find out about the
Yep.
races.
We contacted Statrix.
Yeah.
He used to run with them. Maybe he knows an old clubhouse or two.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
He-
So we'll give him a call.
He does. You have to put up with a lot of him reminiscing stories because he's obviously very upset that you guys get to go race motorcycles without him. But you do find out about an old clubhouse that they used to use.
Great.
Just to be,
And
what is my connection and loyalty with Statrix?
He has a 1 connection rate, but a 3 loyalty.
Okay.
He's a very loyal person, but he's just as unimportant as any other runner.
Okay, cool.
we're gonna need to use your bike too.
My baby? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Magpie's gonna need to use it.
It's okay. I'll get it cleaned and everything.
Okay. Do you have a Ritter port?
I don't.
He kind of looks at you twice, like, okay. How are you gonna drive it?
So it's one of those then.
Yeah, if you're looking for manual controls on this thing, you're out of luck.
Well, I guess
I mean, it
then
does have
I'm
the
out of luck.
handles on it, but they're just for holding on.
Never mind. We don't need your bike.
All right.
Dang, that would have been convenient though.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna take the Spirit, and I'm just gonna
Can't
have
use
to.
a data jack with it.
I don't have a data jack.
You can rent
Huh.
a bike. You can maybe
Yeah, I
even rent
guess-
one large enough that Minos could use.
I've got
But
one.
you need money for that,
You would need money for that.
and I don't have that. So yeah,
I've got a bike, right? I've got mine.
Yeah.
So
Don't you have the Harley Scorpion?
yes.
Okay.
so
That's not a
you
bad
can be
bike.
the
That actually goes
biker.
pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'll just be an enthusiast.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, it has a speed of 4. The Mirage has a speed of 6, but if you're turning and doing things like that, you have to do maneuvers. Um, Obviously, your bike isn't going to be the best at it, but you're really not that much slower than the other bikes, only on top end.
Yeah.
What are you envisioning? Wrestling for the, or I mean, racing for the ring? Like, I don't
No.
think that would be a good idea.
No, not at all.
So, you arrive. Sorry, did you want to go to the playhouse or to some of the biker gangs, or biker hangouts?
So the clubhouse is called the Playhouse.
Sorry, I meant the clubhouse. It's actually
Okay.
an old church that was renovated into a school at one time, and then has since then been renovated into half bar, half pool hall. So as you go in, they're real tall ceilings and everything. It's real nice. Has an open courtyard and basketball kind of area on one side where all the motorcycles can kind of park and people can hang out.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're gonna go there.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And as you show up to the building, on the left hand side of the large red double doors, in large graffiti, it says crack. And to the lower right of the door, it says rocks in the same kind of graffiti pattern. So you believe you're in the right place.
Okay.
Yes, Ryan, in 20 minutes or so? Does that
Yeah.
work? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be easiest to just kind of go in and scout the place out. Don't get too fancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just gonna head in.
And so as you pull up to park, you're in the Spirit, Magpie. What do you want to do?
Park.
Okay. So you park somewhere near the church, or do you want to park there on the grounds with the other motorcyclists? Because you
Yeah.
do notice there are 4 people kind of around the double red doors. These are obviously some sort of bodyguard or entry type people. And then around, there's a short gated fence around where the basketball court would have been. And this is where most of the motorcycles are parking in. Or they park a bit further down the street in another lot, which is like, because there are 3 people standing out and about where motorcycles would pull into this fenced off area. And it doesn't look like there are any motored vehicles, only motorcycles in this spot, in these spots.
Yeah, I'd probably park down the street a bit and then hoof it over.
And then walk in. Okay. And Minos?
I'll park with the other bikes.
Okay.
A little down the street, not in the basketball court. That seems like there's only one exit.
Yeah. Perfect. So the 2 of you park somewhat close by them, to each other?
Yeah.
You make
Sure.
your way over to the clubhouse. Okay.
That'll work.
As you walk by the fenced off area first, making your way towards the door, you notice there's maybe a dozen people just kind of hanging out, as well as the 7 aforementioned guards or security just kind of keeping a hangout. They're obviously armed with some sort of either knife or pistol each of the 7. The dozen people that are hanging out are either doing some drug or drinking alcohol. They're making out with each other, having polite conversation. Mostly they're sitting around their bikes, looking at different mods and things like that. But you want to continue on towards the doors, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach the 4 doors, and people are kind of looking at you, but they don't give you too much mind. It's, we'll say it's probably about 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon when you guys arrive, so that way you arrive at a time when you know it's going to be actually have people there doing something.
Yeah.
And you approach the red doors. A taller elf. He's probably 6'4", long brunette hair done in two braids that um, kind of resemble an Indian-like style, fall back behind his shoulders. And he steps up, motions you with one hand out first. Hey, who are you?
Is he talking to who?
He's kind of he's staring and speaking to both of you generally. You both walk up at about the same time, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just guys really interested in biking. Saw a lot of cool bikes out here, and I was told that this is the place to come for serious bikers.
That's right, we've got all the flash. But now look at you. What'd you bring in? What group are you with?
He's not with a group. He's wanting to buy a bike. I figure, what better way to show him all the different bikes than go to a bike bar?
Yeah,
He
probably
looks
guys
at you
here
while you're
who-
talking, but you can tell he's almost sneering at you, Minos, like he doesn't respect anything you have to say, as he goes immediately back to talking to Magpie. What'd you bring this man here for?
Well, you know, bikers are a rough lot. Just making sure I stay safe.
An outsider.
Yeah, but once he goes inside, then he's not an outsider anymore.
The elf goes back to looking you up and down. You look the part. Are you Shehi? Or Sethi?
That being the Salishi like tribe.
Yeah, the elvish tribe that envelops Seattle.
No,
Am I saying that right? City?
it's she.
Sid She? Or
So, just like he, she, it's pronounced she.
just she?
Yeah, Gaelic is weird.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was looking up some pronunciations, so I apologize for some of these, but so the she.
No, I'm from the old country.
Well, we can respect that. How about you? He's looking right at you now, Minos.
Yeah, I'm directly out of the tier.
Some half-blood mook?
Okay. You just may want to turn around and let us walk in right now.
His eyes get really big. He smiles. He looks around. The other bikers. Their hands obviously start moving towards weapons, but they kind of just chuckle and whatnot. Another dude comes up, slaps him on the arm. Let him through. They'll either make it or they won't. He keeps his head up tall. Obviously, he's not as tall as Minos, but he keeps his head up as if he's puffing out his chest one night. He's like, all right then. Don't make asses of yourself, yeah? And he uses his right hand and pushes open the door.
Thank you.
Better have some money. As you guys walk in, he kind of mutters it under his breath, half under his breath. You guys make your way in. Obviously, there are mostly elves in here. Almost all elves. There's a troll, there are 2 orcs, and 1 human. But other than that, there's probably a dozen other elves in here. And they don't even try, like, they're not just elves, they're flamboyantly elvish. Like, wearing extra, almost tribal ornamental things to make them stand out more, like the movie Avatar. Imagine that they're cosplayers for the movie Avatar and they're biker elves. That's perfect. That's how these chumps look like.
Compensating for something.
Almost be glitter boys, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so I think just go get some beers from the bar, and maybe you want to go talk to that giant thing over there.
Oh, the troll.
Yeah, I'm talking to Mina, so I'm like, you fit in with that. Talk to him.
Oh, so I have to talk to him?
Well, I mean,
because what does that mean?
but these guys are all elves. They obviously don't like
Why don't you talk to
outside-
the elves?
I'm going to talk to the elves. I'm saying you go talk to the troll. Maybe you know each other. I don't know.
Oh, oh, so we all know people. You know,
You're going to look really silly if you actually do know him.
uh,
How would you know? All trolls look the same, right?
Well, I mean, kind of.
oh, okay.
You're just
I'll go do
huge.
that. I'll go to the bar first.
Okay. There's only one bar stool set up large enough for a troll or larger creature, but
I'm
there's
not
plenty
gonna
of
sit.
standing room.
I'm not gonna sit.
Okay. There's
Just
one
gonna get-
waitress or one cocktail waitress kind of making her way around, and then the bartender is one of the orcs that I mentioned. So as you come up, he says, or as you stand there, what do you have?
I'll
We've all met with
ask him
soy
on my
beers
best.
and a mead.
Or is he, if he's got anything decent here?
You ask him that?
Yeah.
He slowly eyes you up and down. What do you drink?
Something really good.
All right. How much money you have?
Well, I just need it real. I don't want any soy.
Okay, he starts pouring a drink for you. It looks like wine, though.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's dark red wine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hand him a credit stick and say, make a tab.
Roger that. How about you, pal?
My plan, beer's fine.
Okay. He puts a cold glass beer on the table for you.
I'm looking around. Do I see any like patches or anything that look like they may belong to Crack Rocks?
Yes, most of the people in here have Crack Rock's jacket on. There are a couple other gangs, like a Fallen Angel or a Death Watch, stuff like that. But they're mostly here as communicators between the groups, things like that, setting up other races and runs. People are selling or buying mod parts for motorcycles, things like that.
Okay, that's good. I think I want to. I'm not looking to talk to a specific person necessarily. I just kind of want to make small talk and get a sense of, what's going on with them, that kind of thing.
Okay. You start floating around the room. You've got the pheromones and the charisma that you start working the room from different angles. Obviously, not everybody gets along with you 100%, but many of the elves will open up and at least start speaking to you. And how much do you know about motorcycles?
Basically nothing.
Okay. Well, they open up and will talk with you for at least a few minutes each, but it quickly becomes apparent you're out of your depth when it comes to motorcycle talk, and mostly they just lose respect for you at that if that part of the conversation comes up, and then they kind of stop talking to you as much.
Maybe I could go at it from a different point of view. Like, my kind of thought is my cover here. He said me buying a bike, but I think of it more as maybe like a journalist covering the biking scene. Like it's interesting because I have certain knowledges that may fit in because I've got fashion and black markets, and so black markets may be even better.
Yeah. Well, and there's black market deals happening kind of right in the background right now, so.
Yeah, so maybe it's like coming at it from the perspective of, hey, I'm looking to branch out business-wise, and this seems to be like it would be a really good place to talk to people, make contacts.
Okay. Perfect. While you're doing that, Minos, you're enjoying your wine. It is actually a nice wine.
All right.
And only 7 yen a glass.
I'm gonna. How much?
7 yen.
Oh, okay. I said 700. I was like, wait, what? we're we're gonna have to run.
See, we're in the wrong place for that.
Yeah.
uh, I'm gonna watch the crowd for a bit. I want to see if there's any one person in particular that people are going to. You know, a leader sort of thing would naturally have people going back and forth and wanting sort of attention and sort of things like that. Is there anyone that the conversations or the looks or things are sort of revolving around?
Um, Now you know that you notice there's the old papal room, and that there are people going in and out of that room occasionally. Normally, it's only one or two. The papal room is typically very small, so it's probably just a very small office in there, with a few shelves and cabinets from what you can see. So if there is a leadership to the role or roles around here, you think that those people would be back there somewhere, just because you don't see anyone that fits that bill out here. Most people
Okay.
tend to respect the troll. Well, even though he's a larger dude, kind of like yourself, he's tall and large, but he's built very lean, and he does have, from the different parts of the conversations that you hear from other people and those that talk to him, he does have a very nice modded out bicycle for his size, and it also enjoys this kind of competitive sport racing stuff. The one orc is the bartender. He's obviously employed here. The other orc is male. That is another biker, but he mostly does the black market mod and things like that. A couple of the elves are also businessmen that do the black market mods, selling, buying bikes, doing kind of wheeling and dealing trades, maybe buying a bad bike, fixing it up, and then selling it off again, stuff like that. And then for the
Okay.
most part, everybody else is kind of drinking, having a good time. They're younger, maybe even some of them are like underage, like teenagers and whatnot. Growing up, they use a lot of slang. So anything like a lot of that Gaelic, like with the she and whatnot, they're breaking in a lot of that slang, using less of the Seattle slang.
Okay.
Using what kind of slang?
Of the
The
she.
Salish? Yeah,
Salish,
okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's mostly like they're trying to pretend, or they're posing.
Right. It's funny that elves would be elf posers too.
Yeah.
So
So,
you're gonna go talk to the troll maybe, or the orc?
yeah, I'll go talk to the troll. See what he's. Yeah, I'll get some information on him. See what we got.
All right.
So yeah, I will make my way over there.
You sit down at the small table with the two larger chairs. Rhaegar kind of eyes you up and down. His eyes do get a little large as you approach him and you take a seat. His left hand is below the table where it can't be seen really. His right hand is on the table holding his large beer glass.
Okay.
Hoy, friend.
Does he have a gun?
You can't see through the table.
Yes, I can.
Oh, well then. Are you going to use your tricks?
Sure.
Okay. So you take a brief moment. Again, your vision kind of fades out. It's replaced by all those green dots rapidly, hitting everywhere until it maps out this almost perfect 3D picture for you. Underneath the table, he does look like he has a manhunter.
Okay. That works.
Dangerous.
So, I heard you do some mods.
Yeah. I like to play with the bikes.
I might need some stuff done on a bike. What do you do?
Well, you're
Or
another
what can you do?
You're another big guy. Most of the mods I do, he seems a little bit more relaxed now. You can hear the gun kind of unclick as he slowly tries. He tries to quietly reholster it. Yeah, I set up mods for stronger suspensions, things like that. A much stronger engines needed for us bigger guys.
Yeah. So, you work with the elves here? Or are you on your own?
I mean, they pay good.
Huh.
I'm mechanic for them, though, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Are you new
So
here
you
in
do.
town?
I'm yes and no. I just got back after I was out of town for a while.
I just hadn't seen you. Us bigger guys are rather rare around here, especially in the biking scene.
Yeah. So, um, oh God, I don't want to put this.
What kind of bike you riding now?
Scorpion.
Good bike, strong engine. Need to work on that
Yeah.
suspension though, obviously.
It's had a little bit of work done, but probably needs a little more. Uh, love for you to take a look at it sometime. Do you do work outside of here?
Course. Have to feed this belly. Pats
Good.
himself.
Well, uh, I'll get your info.
Alright. Yeah, he
And
trades info, or he gives you contact information.
all right. So do you work on all their bikes?
Most of them, if they can afford it.
They can afford it. They've got some pretty high-end bikes out here.
I'm about the best in downtown, though. Everyone knows it.
Hmm. So any races coming up soon?
Actually, there's one tonight. That's why everybody's getting together. Enough of
Where
us
at?
here. Some of the other gangs will be showing up here soon.
Where's the race at?
We call this one the C-turn. Cuts through the east side of Bellevue across the island.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I won't keep you. Thank you.
Were you interested in racing?
Hmm.
You know there's a fee, right?
Yeah, probably not racing today. Maybe have to have you work on it a little bit before I go in on a race.
Races are won by the driver, not the bike, son.
All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you. Almost as soon
Oh,
as you get up and kind of wander from the table, somebody else hops into that seat and they immediately like, dude, I don't know what's going on. The clutch chain just keeps slipping with, and they're just like, fuck me, man, I need help. So they
all right.
immediately get into that. Let's go ahead though, if I can. I'm gonna stop recording here.